And, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Make a motion.
Council Carroll.
Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Minutes approved. Mr. Junkin or Virgil? Virgil? I saw you, I watched your speech today. You did a good job. I was at UA, I was speaking to classes. Which speech? Yeah.
So this is for 1330 26th Street. This is the one that was supposed to come before council a couple weeks ago. We're just bringing it tonight to officially move it out to November the 21st.
Okay.
It's in my district.
It's a raise.
It's a raise for mine.
It's a raise. I wanna say.
After you can't have all the condemned houses.
Oh, man, I want as many as I can get, sir. How about that?
She's making good progress. I don't know, we're not sure if she's gonna be here
What'd you say
tonight or
we're
not,
gonna
but we're basically just bringing it
What'd you
forward
say
just
you're
to
gonna
move it out officially.
No, I mean,
Didn't we do this
one,
recently?
what they-
Yeah, he just saying he gonna move that out to November
Take it off
21st.
the
Then trying to release
I
it.
think I know.
Yeah.
She's making good progress, so we good with that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
What'd they say? I'm sorry. I
Think
didn't hear.
about that article.
We gonna move it out to November
I
30th.
said, this is the one that was, supposed to have came a couple weeks ago and had a little snafu.
Yeah.
And last week, actually, she was gonna be here and then she didn't show up, but we're officially bringing it to you so we can officially move it out to November 21st.
Yeah. I actually called and told her, I said she didn't need to be here, that she didn't have to come, so. She
Tonight.
going, go work, yes.
Somebody burn popcorn, where's that?
I don't know.
Thank you.
That's all we've got.
Thank you very much.
Cause they had the ball, just pay a little to me.
They're busy.
Hey, I'm here for the show, that's all.
I don't smell anything.
Sorry.
Okay, Zach.
Hey, how are y'all today?
opened up this morning.
All right, so this one's a little unique, but Mr. Busby is familiar with this. Section 24106 is a part of the zoning ordinance that allows you, as council, to allow a use within on a historic or architectural landmark that isn't currently allowed. And we've done this previously for this same address. So this is for Misfits LLC. This is amending that exception. And this is at y'all are familiar with the Deering Swaim House, 2111 14th Street, at this location here, close across the street from the post office, down close to Queen City. So essentially what they are wanting to do is Misfits, Carrie Fitz, operates her real estate business out of here. It's zoned R3 today and historic. They were previously allowed to operate Misfits' real estate business. However, it is only issued to her and her real estate business. She is actually requesting to allow Miss Parrott, she's a doctor, to operate her office on the upstairs floor, so in the second story.
So
Just
did
one
the
off.
council approve
So you have to get a
that?
council
Did they go through
approval for that.
historical
That's right.
preservation and all that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, she's a doctor.
Yeah, so Miss Parrott is a clinical psychologist. She wants to rent one of the second floor offices that they have in the Fitz building, so it's not associated with Carrie Fitz Real Estate. It's a separate entity. And in order to do that, she needs to come to you guys.
But she doesn't see many patients.
No, so she actually works mainly with people at their jails or other facilities, and she mentioned that maybe once every few months she's going to have some people there, some attorneys or something like that she has to meet with on occasion. But really, it's just her to write reports and have an office outside of her home address because of her business. Essentially, she doesn't want it to be tied to her home
And
address.
Zach, this also would be good only for this business and this use, right?
So the way that we, working with Mr. Bobbitt, the way that we've written the amendment is to allow Ms. Fitz to rent out this office space. So if, that last bullet point, if Ms. Parrott chooses to leave, we don't have to then come back to you guys and ask for the same thing again, because we would have to if Ms. Parrott leaves. The way that we wrote it is that
Tom,
she can basically rent one.
What restrictions will still, first of all, we're lucky to have the tenants we've got in this beautiful old mansion there.
Definitely.
That's, Lewis and Kerry Fitz have sunk and are still sinking money into making that place the landmark that it is. And we approved the use for their real estate business. So now she's requesting to have a one-room psychologist. So Tom, what restrictions apply going forward?
Going forward, what you would be doing tonight would be allowing her that if this Ms. Parrott left, Dr. Parrott left, that she could again rent that office space. It is for a single office use in the upstairs. It's not the entire upstairs, it's not any other offices, it's just for a single office use.
Can we revoke it if we choose to? Can we undo it? I mean, if we do it, can we undo it?
If you've allowed it by ordinance, you can reverse it, yes, sir.
We can?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But it would be very limited to what anybody would want.
I don't anticipate a problem, but I wanted to make sure if there ever is one down the road under different owners, that those of us, if we put it in, we can take it out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm good with it.
That's it.
I just hope they're healthy people, because those steps aren't easy to go up.
Yeah.
That's the only bathroom in that house is upstairs. Yeah,
Gravity, I guess, because that's an old house.
I know, I spend a lot of time over there. Thank you, Zach. Mike, you're just in time.
I heard I was running a little late.
No, you're perfect.
We'd wait on it, Bob. We'd wait on it.
The beautiful people always come in last.
So what we have today is a couple of street vacations. These are both out at the university. Are you running or am I running? Okay. All right. So this first alley is a 10-foot alley, and it's directly behind the Publix on the campus. It gets used somewhat for a walking trail right now, so the university want to vacate this alley. It's never been improved. I think their thought process is eventually there'll be a sidewalk with a good connector with some lighting between Grace and Campus Drive.
If they don't want us to pay anything.
Well,
Us
no.
pay.
I mean, their future plans. Are we taking or giving away?
We're giving up our right of
what I
way.
meant.
You're giving up our alley.
And
Yes,
so we'll be done with it.
that's correct. Yeah, and the ownership will go to the university, and I think there's a small portion that goes to the landowner to the north.
Well, I was just thinking, you're talking about them doing some work on it, but that'll be their problem, not our financial issue at all. Right?
That's correct.
Okay.
All
It's
right.
District 1, right? That's you.
So our next vacation is just, and that's the survey drawing, right there. So the next one is just right up the street. Publix is just right off the page, and this is a 30-foot right of way, platted many years ago. There's no improvements in this one either. No logic for it to ever connect to Campus Drive. Just basically an unused right of way. So, and there's a survey to that, and the parcels to the north there are university buildings. So this just will again relieve us of ownership of the right of way.
Well, back up, please, Mike. So the university is asking us to vacate a 10-foot right-of-way, essentially running along the north face of Publix, right?
That's correct. Yeah, the backside of
Or the
Publix.
north
Yeah.
facade. And then a 30-foot running from, what is that, the end of Gray, okay. The end of Gray Street to Campus Drive, is that what that is?
I can't read it from the screen there. If you'll give me just 1 second.
It does go, yes, that's Gray Street.
The Thomas Street is the street on the left or west-hand side of the vacation. this is, I guess this is an extension of Gray Street that never was improved. When you look at the roads running north to south, the little cul-de-sac on the left or west side is Thomas Street, and it is improved. And then the area that's blacked out on the diagram there is the unimproved right-of-way.
What do they want it for? Why?
I believe they're gonna make parking.
Okay, any questions for Mike? Okay, thank you, Mike. Mayor Maddox?
Yes, sir. Mr. Tyner, just kind of recap this morning. We cut the ribbon on the opening at Sokol Park North. And I know Mr. Crowe and I were both very excited to be there and see that project take place. As I told the media gathered, it was not only as just being part of the city, but as a parent with Taylor and Eli. The parking in that field over the years was dangerous business, truly dangerous, especially at night. And now to have that safe, lighted parking lot area, the drainage improvements, which will vastly help the playing fields out there, it's really felt good to do that. And since 2021, the city's invested $7.1 million in the Sokol Park. The adaptive park, that's I guess Mason's Place, it's called now, and the $6.6 million that we've put into Sokol Park North and South. But as I highlighted to the public today, the thing that I'm really proud of is that how we've kept our promises with Elevate. And when I was preparing my remarks this morning, it struck me just how much we've been able to do, thanks to the leadership of our team members and certainly the support, the unwavering support of this city council. River District Park and the pedestrian bridge is $18 million. The tennis center is going to be a $9.5 million. Western Riverwalk is $11 million. The Northern Riverwalk is $5 million with engineering now undertaking. Benjamin Barnes, which we will break ground on, $10 million. Carlton Park, which the bids came in, and we're in the range of $1.75 million. So we will have final tabulations come in, but that's going to be an outstanding investment. And Mr. Fell, formerly Mr. Tyner's district, $10.2 million with Snow-Hinged. So you think about those investments that we've made in park and recreation just in the last 2.5, 3 years. There's not many communities in Alabama that really can say they've done that. And I'm very, very proud of that. And I think you should be as well. I know every Tuesday you come in here and we present you the challenges of the day. And sometimes it's hard to see over the horizon everything that we've been able to accomplish. So I wanted to share that with you as something that I hope you're very proud of. I know we are. And I know a lot of constituents in District 3 that are going to really appreciate, Mr. Crowe, that new parking lot and drainage, and I'm going to be one of them. So I appreciate the council supporting that and doing that.
Well, for people that use that, and there's so much in just the district I represent, but really there's people from all over the city that are using those facilities. I think it's a huge upgrade from what was there with the parking and the lights and the safety amenities and the stuff. Y'all that need to visit that, because there's people from all over the city that are using it, especially in District 3 too. That's a big deal.
I'd love to have that. I wish I'd had that list. Kelvin Reynolds, was it Monday? Yeah, he stopped by and asked me, how come you are putting so much in your parks? And I wish I'd had that, but one thing I said, we learned from COVID too, especially how just valuable our parks are, because you remember that's where people went, because they could separate themselves from other folks, and boy, were they ever used during that time, especially, I think that's great.
It is.
And to back up though, President Tyner's point and Walt's point, I think one of the things that we see as a leadership group with the city, with the mayor, with the council, is we've got to invest in quality of life. And I think we are investing in quality of life for our citizens and for the future citizens of Tuscaloosa that will make up our workforce, that will have so much to do with the success of this city. And I mean, I think that's a good investment long term for us as a city.
Well, and you haven't heard what's going to be coming to Bowers, hopefully pretty soon. I know Mr. Fell and Mr. Lanier are working on a planning team that we do have money budgeted within Elevate. So there's still a lot more to come. And if you look at it geographically too, we've done a really good job of putting those out there where all citizens can get access to that. I know, again, I feel braggadocious doing this, but at the same time, I don't think we share, or what I could say, spiking the football enough. That is really remarkable, and it's remarkable again, and then I'll be quiet. It's the leadership of the council in supporting it. It's the unbelievable team you have here at the city and just how good they are. I wish more people could see how good they do every single day and how dedicated they are to this cause. And we should be proud. So, no matter what comes our way today, we're going to start off with some positive energy and celebrate this success. And so just wanted to share that with you, and I appreciate it.
I think that's wonderful, absolutely. And we especially appreciate the gold-plated walking trail at J.C. Park.
Exactly. If it's not gold, you hadn't done it right.
That's right. Streets are paved with gold.
That is true.
Yeah, they are.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Okay, any department comments? Anybody here? Carly, welcome back today. And anyone else have anything they'd like to announce? Mr. Holmes, welcome back to you as well.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, council.
Mr. Bobbitt did an awesome job.
Well, thank you. I appreciate Mr. Bobbitt filling in filling in for me. I was at least smart enough to get the stomach bug on a Tuesday. He waited till Friday to get it. So I will be about midway down page 2, where on page 22 you'll be authorizing a professional services contract with Medical Priority Consultants. This is DBA Priority Dispatch Corporation. This is a total not to exceed $101,500 over a period of 5 years, and this was presented to you in projects last week. On page 23, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Mobile Communications America. This is a total of $7,849.99, and again was presented in projects last week.
My pages are
I'm sorry.
different.
Yeah.
What you
So I'm
Glad I thought it was me. I didn't.
I've got one-sided pages this time.
You still having a fever?
No. Let's see. I'm reading exactly what yours says.
Cash said you got last week.
What we got next week?
I can read you what Brandy gave me, but it says exactly what mine says.
I got one here.
I still, Brandy,
Wait a minute, so is it Brandy's fault?
no, page 22 was supposed to be what, Scott?
The professional service contract with Medical Priority.
We don't have a
It says
27.
24 on the agenda.
Oh, yeah. It goes 18 to 23 is one altogether.
That's the vacations.
Brandy, do I have what?
You want this?
Oh, we got it. Yeah, it's 22
I
on
think
this
just to
one.
be
Okay, that's the
safe,
same
we ought
thing
to
as what
just
I have.
stop and all go home.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
We'll come back next week and we'll get it right. What do you?
How about this?
All in favor?
I can let you know. I can let you know we have 2 suspended rules items that aren't on any of these agendas. One of those will be the District 2 improvement funds. This is to fund some project renderings for the Carlton Park project. These will be at a district meeting with Ms. Howard, and then will be displayed at the McDonald Hughes Center, as well as an item that was actually supposed to be doubled up. You have an item regarding some paving from the MPO on projects, and then you will have a suspended rules item tonight, which is authorizing the mayor to send a concurrence letter to AlDOT for that resurfacing project.
Okay.
And now we're back to where we were. No, that's fine.
So the resurfacing project is part of the MPO?
Yes, sir. This was, and Mr. Gardner is still in here, and Mayor probably, they both know more about this than I ever have, but my understanding is this was the MBO project that was approved, I believe, in '21. You may recall, I think one of the key projects is paving Jack Warner Parkway from about 82 to the city limits, just past 297. The AlDOT never went forward with that project, has recently bid the project. It came in a little above what their estimate was a few years ago, but within line of what they think other projects were. And so we would send a concurrence letter to say, go ahead and do this. Our funding amount increases by about $195,000.
We budgeted the initial 20% was around, I think in my 22 budget, which was around, I want to say a little over $1 million. We have money available in our upcoming paving contract to make up that difference. It's Jack Warner Parkway from the city limits, and basically we're whole in. City limits begins just near 297, and Mr. Holmes says all the way back to the 82 bypass. Joe Malisham Parkway in the city limits, and Hilliard as well, which is from 15th back to University Boulevard. The council approved that. Again, I think it's part of our 22 budget. AlDOT's paying for 80% of the cost. The city share is 20% of the cost. And we're using the funds from the MPO to be able to fund that 80%.
So our 20% went up 195,000?
145,000, Mike?
Something like that. We're at 1.1 million. Is our share of 5.5, I think.
And we're just using our paving contract as the backstop on that.
And this is coming up on suspended rules?
AlDOT just finalized the concurrence. AlDOT resurrected this project fairly quickly and has moved it thankfully. And so this process has been moving quickly over the last 7 to 10 days. And so we would like to go ahead and get this, since they've accepted bids, to get this project moving and forward in their thinking.
Okay. This is where in here?
This is on projects,
It's on projects today?
Yes, sir, but
Okay.
what the title
That's
of
fine.
what needs to be done from projects doesn't really match the title of the action you need to take at council, which is really just the concurrence letter and send it to check.
Okay, but the issue is on projects today?
Yes.
And the city has authorized this back in '22.
Okay.
Page numbers. Let's see. Yes. And yes, I've got the big one. Let's get that over that screen.
Richard, do we need dead air filler? Is the FAA gonna get mad at us?
How about those Cowboys? For real. You did it.
Yeah, after last week.
Man, I'm telling you.
I thought you were talking about my flag football team.
How y'all-
Big 27-12 victory
Oh,
last
yeah,
night.
y'all pulled that off?
Y'all the Cowboys?
I
Yeah,
did.
the Cowboys, baby.
Are you the Cowboys,
Yeah,
really?
we're the Cowboys. How
Oh,
about
wow.
the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Cowboys won last night.
Oh, no doubt.
So did the Cowboys, the other Cowboys team?
Yeah, we pulled it off.
I'm a
My
Cowboys fan.
Astros lost.
I know every week about where we're gonna.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Beat LA, but that was.
Yeah.
Okay, we ready?
All right, now if you'll excuse my pun, I think we should all be on the same page. And I will pick up on page 22 where you'll be authorizing a professional services contract with Medical Priority Consultants. DBA Priority Dispatch Corporation is a total amount not to exceed $101,500 over a period of 5 years and was discussed in projects on last week. Are we good now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. On page 23, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Mobile Communications America. This is a total of $7,849.99, and again was on projects last week. On page 24, you'll be authorizing minor public works contract with Rick's Service Company. This is a total of $10,750 and was on projects last week. On page 25, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Asphalt Resurrection, DBA Everline Coatings and Services. This is a total of $2,508.56, and this was on projects last week. On page 26, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with ACS. This is a total of $4,567 and was on projects last week. On page 27, you'll be authorizing minor public works contract with John and Kirksey Inc. This is a total not to exceed $58,985 and was on projects last week. On page 28, you'll be authorizing an engineering services agreement with Gresham Smith for the University Boulevard at Brook Hills intersection project. This is a total of $249,654 and again was on projects last week. On page 29, you'll be authorizing an engineering services agreement with TTL for the Kicker Road Sidewalks project. This is a total of $110,850 and was on projects last week. On page 32, you'll be authorizing an engineering services agreement with TTL for the Ash Street Sidewalks to Carlton Park project. This is a total of $154,478 and was on projects last week. On pages 33 through 34, you'll be tentatively awarding a public works contract to John Plott Company for the Snow Hinton Park Site Improvements Project. This is a total of $10,274,766.64, and again came to projects last week. On page 35 and 36, you'll be tentatively awarding a public works contract to Premier Service Company. This is for the 2023 fiber optic network expansion boring services project. This is a total of not to exceed $800,000 and again was on projects last week. Moving down on page 37 and 38, you'll be authorizing amendment number 1 to the FY 2024 Elevate Fund budget, and that I believe is in Finance Committee today. We do have one item for executive session that I know of, and we went over the suspended rules item there during our brief technical delay. Is there any questions for me?
The questions, Scott, the two vacation items are in the separate substitute item?
Yes, sir, there
What
were
are they
some.
being substituted?
There were some, I believe, publication fees that were incorrect in what's on your agenda, so Mr. Bobbitt did a substitute correcting those numbers.
We just added some publication fees.
Okay.
All righty. Thank you, Scott.
Yes, sir.
Projects 2:30, Finance 3:15, Admin 4, Community Development at 5. And of course, next Monday is ZBA. Any comments or any other communications from members of the council? Okay, is there a motion we go into executive session?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Mr. Hall.
Yes, sir. As your city attorney and attorney licensed to practice law in the state of Alabama, I can certify that this executive session is to discuss with their attorney the legal ramification. I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong section. To discuss preliminary negotiations involving matters of trade or commerce in which the governmental body is in competition with private individuals or entities or other governmental bodies in Alabama or in other states or foreign nations, the discussions of which would have a detrimental effect upon the competitive position of a party to the negotiations or upon the location, retention, expansion, or upgrading of a public employer or business entity in the area served by the governmental body if disclosed outside of executive session.
Okay, we have a motion second to go into executive session. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any